Welcome to Stoic Narratives Official, where we dive deep into Stoic philosophy to help you take control of your life. Today, we explore why actions speak louder than words. Have you ever met someone who talks big but never delivers? It's frustrating, isn't it? That's because words are cheap, but actions define who we truly are. In this video, we'll uncover how practicing personal accountability, embracing self-discipline, and maintaining consistency in action will transform your life. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius taught that true peace comes not from talking, but from doing. If you want to earn respect and find inner peace, stop making promises and start proving them through action. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have practical steps to apply these timeless lessons and live with purpose. If you're ready for change, hit that like button and subscribe for more Stoic motivation that will push you forward every day. 1. Why actions matter more than words. Let's start with a fundamental truth of Stoic philosophy. Actions define us more than anything we say. It's easy to talk about our goals, our dreams, or even how we'll improve ourselves. But as the Stoic philosophers teach, words without actions are empty. In the end, it's what we do that builds our character and shows the world who we really are. Think about this. You've probably known people who promise big things. They say they'll work hard, they'll show up, they'll make changes. But then, nothing happens. How does that make you feel? Likely frustrated, maybe even disappointed. It's because we instinctively know that actions over words are what truly matter. This is a timeless lesson in Stoicism. Your actions are the mirror of your intentions. Now, take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there promises you've made to yourself or to others that you haven't followed through on? Maybe it's a commitment to start a new project, to build healthier habits, or to focus on personal growth. Stoic daily practice teaches us that action, consistent, deliberate action, is the only way to make real progress. Personal accountability is at the heart of this. Without it, your words are just noise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This quote captures the essence of what we're discussing here. Don't just talk about who you want to become. Start acting like that person now. Every small step you take, every choice you make, shapes the future you. It's not about grand gestures or overnight success. The Stoic mind focuses on small, consistent actions that, over time, lead to massive growth. To help you apply this in your life, focus on one principle: consistency in action. If you're aiming for self-discipline, start with something manageable. Commit to it every day. If your goal is to improve your physical health, don't aim for drastic changes all at once. Instead, start with 10 minutes of exercise each morning. These small actions may seem insignificant, but they're the foundation of long-term success. The more you act, the more control you gain over your emotions and life. This is where Stoicism and Stoic motivation shine. By acting instead of merely talking, you begin to experience true inner peace. There's no anxiety in action, only in procrastination. And there's no regret in effort, only in inaction. If you're tired of feeling stuck, of always planning but never doing, now is the time to change. Remember, it's your actions that will set you free. They will define who you are and guide you toward a life of purpose. Stay tuned, as we're just getting started. 2. Everyday examples of action. Let's take a closer look at why actions are so important, not just in theory, but in practice. Stoicism teaches us that actions reflect the true nature of our character. It's easy to speak about how disciplined or determined we are, but until we demonstrate it through consistent behavior, those words mean little. Imagine someone who constantly talks about starting a business. They have all the ideas, they tell everyone their grand plans, but they never take that first step. Over time, people stop believing them. Why? Because their actions don't match their words. This disconnect creates doubt and frustration, and it erodes trust. Stoic philosophy is clear on this. The world doesn't judge us by what we say we will do, but by what we actually accomplish. In Stoic daily practice, the emphasis is always on personal accountability. When you make a commitment, whether it's to yourself or someone else, you must hold yourself accountable to follow through. It's easy to get caught up in excuses or distractions, but Stoic philosophers like Seneca remind us that life is short. and we must make the most of our time by focusing on actions that align with our goals. Here's where self-discipline becomes essential. If you're aiming to achieve something significant in life, whether it's a career goal, improving your health, or building stronger relationships, you can't just talk about it. You have to be willing to put in the work, day after day, without waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation is fleeting. Consistency in action is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. To make this real in your life, consider how you spend your time. Are your daily actions leading you closer to the person you want to be? If not, it's time to reassess. Small steps, like dedicating 15 minutes a day to learning a new skill or practicing a habit, can make all the difference. Stoicism teaches that we don't need to make massive changes all at once. Instead, focus on the little things you can control and take action in those areas consistently. Remember, the Stoic mind is focused not on outcomes, but on the process. You can't always control what happens, but you can control your response. When you focus on the actions you can take today, you free yourself from the anxiety of future outcomes and find inner peace in the present moment. This is the power of Stoic motivation. It encourages you to act now, to do what you can today, and to trust that these actions, however small, will lead you toward the life you desire. Stop talking, start doing. It's time to let your actions define you. 3. Stoic teachings, the virtue of silent action. Let's now explore a key teaching from Stoic philosophy: consistency in action. It's one thing to act once or twice, but what truly builds character is showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Stoicism emphasizes that lasting change comes not from grand gestures, but from the small, disciplined actions repeated over time. Think about it this way. Anyone can have a moment of inspiration. You might feel motivated to start a new habit or pursue a goal. But what happens when that initial spark fades? This is where self-discipline comes into play. Stoic philosophers understood that real success is found in the daily grind, in doing the work, even when you don't feel inspired. That's the essence of Stoic motivation. Not relying on fleeting emotions, but on solid, consistent action. A practical example of this can be seen in fitness. It's easy to talk about getting healthier or stronger, but results only come when you put in the effort consistently. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Start small, with manageable goals, like a 10-minute workout each day. Over time, these daily actions accumulate, and before you know it, you've built a habit. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we don't need to conquer mountains overnight. Instead, we need to focus on climbing one step at a time, every single day. Now, this is true not only in personal goals, but in relationships and career as well. If you want to build trust and respect, you need to consistently act in ways that earn them. Words won't cut it. People will remember how you show up, how you deliver on your promises, and how your actions reflect your values. That's why Stoicism places such a high value on personal accountability. You are responsible for the choices you make and the actions you take, day in and day out. In your career, for example, you might have goals that seem far off. Maybe you want to earn a promotion, start a new business, or develop a specific skill. The path to achieving these things is not paved with talk. It's built with action. Take small, consistent steps every day toward those goals. Read a little more, practice your craft, and show up prepared. Over time, this dedication will pay off. In the end, Stoicism reminds us that action is where peace is found. When you are focused on what you can control, your daily actions, you stop worrying about the future. You start finding peace in knowing that you are doing the best you can each day. This is what Stoic daily practice is all about, consistently taking action to shape the life you want. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to act. The best time is now. Let your consistent actions define who you are and lead you toward true inner peace. 4. Shift the focus to personal accountability. Let's talk about another essential lesson in Stoic philosophy: the importance of self-discipline in controlling your emotions. Life throws challenges at us every day: difficult people, unexpected setbacks, and stressful situations. It's easy to get overwhelmed or angry, but Stoicism teaches us that the key to true inner strength lies in mastering our emotions. And mastering them starts with action, not just words. Think of it this way. When you feel frustrated or upset, It's easy to say, "I'll handle this better next time." But that's just talk. Actions are what really show emotional control. Stoic philosophers like Seneca believed that we can't always control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. The way you respond to challenges defines who you are. Now, consider a situation where you're feeling stressed, maybe a deadline at work or an argument with a friend. Instead of reacting emotionally, Stoicism encourages you to pause, take a step back, and act calmly. This is where personal accountability plays a huge role. You are responsible for your actions, no matter how tough the circumstances. By choosing to act with patience and self-control, you show your true strength. This principle of self-discipline goes beyond just controlling your emotions. It also applies to how you approach your goals. Life is full of distractions, and it's easy to let them derail you. But the Stoic mind focuses on what truly matters, staying on the path of action, even when it's hard. When you commit to daily habits, no matter how small, you're practicing the discipline that Stoics valued so highly. And each time you follow through, you build not only your character, but also your confidence. Let's take an example from Stoic daily practice. Imagine you've decided to wake up earlier each morning to work on a personal goal, like writing a book or exercising. Some days, it's going to be hard. You'll feel tired, unmotivated, or even doubt whether it's worth it. But this is where Stoicism shines. It reminds us that success isn't about feeling ready or inspired. It's about showing up, taking action, and doing the work, even on the tough days. Consistency in action, especially when it comes to self-discipline, is the foundation for lasting success. Over time, these small, deliberate choices lead to big results. They also help you find inner peace because you know you're in control of your reactions and your progress. So the next time you're faced with a tough situation or feel like giving up on a goal, remember this. Stoic motivation isn't about talking yourself into feeling better. It's about acting in a way that aligns with your values and your goals every single day. 5. The impact of consistency in action. Now let's focus on a key aspect of Stoic philosophy, the impact of consistency in action. Achieving anything meaningful in life isn't about making one bold move. It's about showing up every day, even when the motivation isn't there. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius believe that true strength comes from our ability to stay disciplined, regardless of how we feel in the moment. Consider this. Every day you face choices that seem small, but actually shape your future. Do you choose to follow through on your commitments, or do you let distractions take over? The Stoic mind emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for your actions, and that starts with building consistency in the little things. If you want to change your life, whether it's improving your health, your career, or your relationships, the first step is showing up. This means making a daily habit out of what matters most to you. If your goal is to become more fit, don't focus on the end result. Focus on the small, consistent actions you can take each day. Start with 10 push-ups, a short run, or even 15 minutes of stretching. These small efforts may not seem like much, but they add up over time. Stoicism teaches us that we don't need to chase massive, immediate results. Instead, we should focus on the process. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the obstacles we face, whether they are external or internal, are actually opportunities for growth. Every time you overcome resistance to act, you become stronger, more disciplined, and more aligned with your goals. In the modern world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, entertainment, and countless other things pull us away from what really matters. But Stoic motivation is rooted in cutting through those distractions and focusing on action. When you choose to act, despite everything pulling you away, you are mastering your mind and your environment. This is where inner peace comes from. Not from avoiding difficulty, but from embracing it with the strength of consistent action. Personal accountability plays a huge role here. Every time you decide to act, you reinforce your belief in yourself. You prove that you're someone who can be counted on, not just by others, but by yourself. This is a powerful shift. When you trust your own ability to take action, you feel more in control, more resilient, and more at peace. So don't wait for the perfect time or for inspiration to strike. As Stoic philosophy teaches us, The right time is now. The key is to act consistently, no matter how small the steps may seem. Over time, your actions will build a life of meaning, purpose, and true fulfillment. 6. Personal story or example. Let's move deeper into how Stoic philosophy helps us find inner peace through consistent action. One of the greatest sources of anxiety is the gap between what we say we will do and what we actually accomplish. Every time you break a promise to yourself or others, you create a cycle of stress and self-doubt. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus remind us that true peace comes from aligning our actions with our intentions. Consider this: when you take action, no matter how small, you reduce the mental burden of unfulfilled commitments. This is why Stoicism emphasizes that you must act now. There's no waiting for the perfect moment. The present is all you control, and it's in the present where you must take action. When you act, you immediately shift from inaction to progress, which is a core principle of Stoic motivation. A common example of this is procrastination. We all know the feeling of putting something off, telling ourselves we'll do it later. But as time passes, the anxiety builds. The Stoic mind teaches us that action is the antidote to this feeling. By tackling even a small part of the task, you break the cycle of stress and take back control. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Self-discipline plays a huge role here. You might not feel like doing the hard things in the moment, but Stoicism teaches us that emotions shouldn't dictate our actions. The true measure of strength is in doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. This is where personal accountability becomes essential. When you hold yourself accountable for your actions, you build trust with yourself. You become the person who follows through, the person who acts, not just talks. Let's apply this to a real-life situation. Imagine you've been putting off an important project, whether it's for work or personal growth. Each day that you delay, the weight of that project grows heavier. But when you finally decide to take action, even if it's just a small step, the burden lightens. This is the power of Stoic philosophy in practice. Action reduces stress, brings clarity, and helps you regain control. And over time, as you consistently take action, you begin to feel a sense of inner peace. You no longer worry about what hasn't been done, because you are actively working toward your goals. This is where Stoic motivation finds its true strength, not in moments of inspiration, but in the quiet power of consistent, deliberate action. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by what's ahead, remember that the solution is simple. Start now. Take action, no matter how small, and build the momentum that will carry you towards success. In doing so, you'll find peace, purpose, and true fulfillment. 7. Practical steps to take action today. Let's now discuss how Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus from outcomes to the process itself. One of the greatest sources of frustration comes from our obsession with results. We often find ourselves asking, when will I achieve this? Or why haven't I reached my goal yet? But Stoic philosophy reminds us that we cannot control the outcome, only the actions we take. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This powerful idea can reshape how you approach your goals. Instead of being fixated on the end result, shift your attention to what you can control, the effort you put in every single day. The outcome will follow naturally, but your peace of mind comes from knowing you are doing the work. In this way, Stoic daily practice is all about focusing on the present moment and the actions you can take now. Let's say you have a goal of improving your fitness. Instead of obsessing over how long it will take to get there, focus on today's workout. What can you do right now that will move you one step closer to your goal? This shift in mindset helps eliminate stress and brings you back to what really matters: consistent, focused action. This principle also applies to your emotional well-being. Stoicism teaches us that the way we respond to challenges defines our character. When you focus on acting with self-discipline and patience, even in difficult times, you build resilience. This is a core tenet of Stoic motivation, that strength is found not in avoiding difficulties, but in facing them head-on, with the right mindset and consistent effort. Let's take another real-life example. Imagine you've been working toward a promotion at work. You've put in the effort, but the results haven't materialized yet. It's easy to become frustrated, to feel like your actions aren't paying off. But Stoic philosophy teaches us to stay the course. The only thing you can control is how consistently you show up, do the work, and maintain your focus. The outcome is beyond your control, but your actions define who you are in the process. This shift in focus from outcomes to actions can bring a sense of inner peace. You stop worrying about the things you cannot change and start finding satisfaction in the work itself. Each day becomes a chance to build the life you want through deliberate, consistent action. This is where true growth happens. So remember, your peace comes from focusing on the process, not the destination. Let your actions speak for themselves and trust that the results will follow in time. This is the Stoic mind at work, guiding you toward a life of fulfillment and purpose. In conclusion, in the end, Stoic philosophy teaches us that words alone don't define who we are. Our actions do. Every choice you make, every step you take, shapes your character and your life. The power to transform your life lies in your hands, and it starts with consistent, purposeful action. Remember, focusing on the present and controlling what you can, your actions, brings true inner peace. Don't wait for the perfect moment or chase outcomes. Instead, act now and let your actions guide you toward success. If you found value in these timeless Stoic lessons about self-discipline, personal accountability, and the power of consistent action, give this video a like and hit subscribe to stay updated with more Stoic motivation. Let's build a community around wisdom and purposeful living here on Stoic Narratives Official. Now it's your turn to take action. What will you do today to live with intention and build the life you desire?